Alright guys, it's the next day after work and I have the tank in the garage. So we already took the little bolts out, and inside you will see that this thing is destroyed. So alright, so like I told you guys in the last video, inside the fuel line there's a little cone filter. I wondered like why they would put that there, but it makes sense because if this fails, it will suck up the trash, then it'll make that cone filter clog. They'd rather have that clog than that trash go into the pump. So that makes sense that that little filter's there. I always wondered why you'd have this and then you'd have that little stupid filter. But as you can see, it starts sucking up this crap and whatever's in the tank, and then it'll clog up that cone filter, and then your car won't start instead of all that trash getting all the way up into your fuel pump. Alright, so I ordered another one of these, OEM one. Hopefully it fits. Kind of hard to find specifically for the car, but I did find one, and it comes in a couple days, maybe by the weekend. But we're gonna try to do some cleaning up on the tank. The tank doesn't look too bad. It's kind of like you have this residue from rust, but nothing's really like rusted through inside the tank. It doesn't look that bad inside there, so we're just gonna clean it up. I'll put the new strainer on the end here, get this back in there, and then make sure I drain the rest of the fuel out. And then I want to, of course, clean this tank up real good before I put it back in. I'll probably paint underneath the car. Anything that might be exposed, whatever, I'll just paint the underside of the car all black. And then I'll be able to start getting these hoses, put some new hoses and stuff on here. And we'll be getting to running the fuel line down. Alright, so see you on that one when it comes up. Alright guys, so I ordered that filter. Wasn't sure if it was the correct one, and it wasn't the correct one. It looks similar, but it's actually too small. The tube didn't want to fit inside of here. I just threw it on here to see how it fit anyway, but you see it ended up getting damaged right here when I was just screwing around with it. So I actually had to go on Summit Racing and order a like universal screen that would fit onto this tube with another hose, because I called Toyota, and of course they said the original filter was no longer being sold, so gotta improvise. As far as inside the tank, it doesn't look that bad. I know there's not a lot of light here, but the tank looks pretty decent. Even like on the outside, it's not all rusty. But I got some vinegar that I'm going to finish draining this and throw the vinegar inside and shake it up real good and try to get whatever I can out of here. And then once the vinegar thing is done, I got baking soda and distilled water, and I'm gonna shake that up and try to get all the stuff out of here as much as possible. Again, you're gonna have the strainer, then you're gonna have a inline filter before the pump, and then you're gonna have the like 100 micron filter up close to the engine. So nothing in here will be getting up to the engine, which is the main thing that's important. But I'd like to just get out all the old stuff and varnish that's inside this tank. So I gotta clean it up. I'm gonna go ahead and bolt this back down so I clean up the outside of it, and then I'm probably going to remove all these things off of the tank. You got the fuel level sensor here. This is for the charcoal canister tube that goes all the way to the front, and of course this is for the supply and return. So I'm going to go ahead and put these back in here. Alright guys, after a quick wash, you can see that my fuel tank is not really in bad shape. Got a little bit of surface rust going on here. I'll probably hit that with a Scotch-Brite pad or something and break that loose. Hit it with some like Rust-Oleum rust converter or something. Paint it all nice and black again. But other than that, it doesn't look bad. It's your typical, you know, getting a little bit of moisture and stuff in the fuel, sitting around. But other than that, the tank looks pretty good. Here's the bottom of the tank. Besides being big and ugly, it's in pretty good shape. Alright guys, so I got the outside cleaned up a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and take all these things off of here. And then we're going to put some distilled water through it first to get some of the old fuel out. And then after that, I have the vinegar here. I'm gonna be putting inside the tank to help get rid of any crap that's left inside the tank. Alright, next we'll get this off. This is the tube that goes up to the charcoal canister. It's kind of crazy. There it is. Alright, so this is the vent. And you want to make sure all these seals look good. Next is the sensor for your fuel level. As you can see, all these screws, let me not jinx myself. Oh shit, they were coming out nice. You always got that one, but that one's against that little bracket, so these come out like nothing right here. Give that a little hit, break it loose. Maybe. There we go. Alright, get this off. Seems like this is the first time these things have been taken off this tank. Okay. Seems a little fatter than the opening. Alright, so here's the float. Besides being a little cruddy, seems like everything. I didn't know whether to leave this in there or not with the vinegar. I'm pretty sure if it could be in fuel, it could be in vinegar, but at least we get to check everything out. It was working when I dropped it. I'll let you guys try to see if you can see inside the tank a bit. You can see there is rust in there. I've seen them online way worse than this. But with a little cleanup, it should be okay. Maybe later I could throw a fuel cell or something in here, but we're gonna make this work for now. Put some water, try to rinse it out a little bit. It really sucks pouring water inside your gas tank. Alright, now I got that in there. Mix it up a bit. Particles and stuff that are in there. This vinegar should dissolve some of that rust away. We've done this on nuts and bolts and it seemed to be pretty effective. Alright, so we put those in there. As you know, it's not completely full, but most of the rust is sitting at the bottom. And we're just gonna keep mixing it around, let that vinegar eat at that stuff. And then we'll rinse it out, and then we'll put baking soda to neutralize it with the distilled water. And after it's decently clean, we'll be able to get this tank back on the car. All right? Here's all the parts here, a little close up on them. For the fuel sensor, I'm gonna kind of scrub this stuff up a little bit, get some of this crap off of here. Same thing with this. This tube needs to be cleaned up. That filter's no good. And just clean up what I can. I can get this stuff back on here. This is an 83, so this setup is different than the later models. Obviously, the later models are going to have the pump down inside the gas tank. And on this model, Celica and Supra, they have the external pump, as I've probably said already. And you just got the pickup tube inside the tank and the strainer. Alright guys, I'm back under the car. I'm gonna go ahead and take this Walbro fuel pump off. So here's the whole contraption that was up there, replacing the factory fuel pump. Just like that. Good thing I had this inline filter on here, because it would have been sucking all that trash from that strainer being tore up. I knew it needed this because it had that cone filter that was in the original line that I removed to put this on. So it's worked out. Alright guys, so I've had the vinegar in here for about 24 hours. It went from clear to a nice murky looking color. I still have some surface rust in there, but for the most part the tank is a lot cleaner than it was. Once you rinse it out with the baking soda and the distilled water until it's clear. You can kind of hear it fizzing, the reaction to the vinegar. Whew. Alright, as you can see, it went in as clear white vinegar and it sped out apple cider vinegar. Man, that's dirty. As I'm putting that in there, it's neutralizing the vinegar from the tank. It's like bubbling up. You see all that nasty crap up on top there. It's starting to come out a lot clearer. Getting there anyway. Alright guys, you see it's slowly clearing up. I'm going to continue to do this until it's completely clear. And then I'm going to start putting some of the stuff back on the tank. Alright guys, so I finished cleaning it out until it was clear. And then when I was finished, I put like a fuel dryer inside the tank and put it out here in the sun after shaking it up really good, and hopefully it will evaporate most of the water out of it. As soon as I put the stuff back inside of the tank, I'm gonna get some fuel in there and mix it around, and then probably drain that little bit of fuel out, and then hopefully it stays good. Either you have it full or you have it completely drained. So we'll see when that's done.